This is a 12 out of 10 cave right here in Austin. This is Whirlpool Cave, and you've probably walked right past it if you've been on the Violet Crown Trail. It's located right underneath a Mopac overpass, and it's usually locked up tight. But today we have the keys from the UT Grotto Society, who manages it along with the Texas Cave Management. This cave was absolutely humongous. It took us about 3 hours to get through it. You start by going through the gate and immediately enter the corkscrew. This takes you down a zigzaggy path, which I imagine is where it's got its name. Then it levels off for a bit. Most of this cave was about 2 to 4 feet high, so you're either crawling on your stomach or on your hands and knees, or sometimes there's enough room to stand in the larger rooms. Knee pads and helmets were absolutely essential here. About halfway through, we made it to a large room that had this small hole in the middle. This was called the sleeping bag, and you would essentially crawl in and wiggle yourself around in a circle before you crawled back out. Doesn't sound very fun, but it wasn't so bad. It finally ends at the birth canal, which is quite an experience. It took about 15 minutes of crawling through a small passageway, which eventually leads you to this tiny hole that lasted about 10 feet, and you basically had to shove yourself through. It was not as bad as I thought getting into it, but not something I really want to get into long term. Everyone in our group was able to do it except for one guy who got stuck. On the other side of the birth canal was the antlion room and grandmother's attic, which was pretty cool. Then we returned to the entrance. We took a different way back. Like I said, this cave was absolutely humongous. You would 100% get lost if you didn't know where you're going. Very cool cave. Thank you to the UT Grotto for letting us explore. Send this to a cave cricket.